Who secures the second place spot in the NFC West tonight when these two meet?
Stephen A. Smith, I must admit to you, this is a tough pick for me to make. I've gone back and forth about this one quite a bit. I think this is going to be an extremely physical football game, and I do believe that the home team, the 49ers, are still seething over what happened at the end of last year's NFC Championship game. Obviously, the line drive throw by Colin Kaepernick that was broken up beautifully, I might add, by Richard Sherman, and then obviously the post-game rant that he leveled at Michael Crabtree. I'm sure there's going to be some blood spilled, so to speak, today, and it's going to be bad blood. These teams do not like each other. But I just have a feeling that Seattle found its Super Bowl self at home last game against Arizona. They suffocated the Cardinals, as you know, 19-3. I'm not saying they're going to get to the Super Bowl, but I still believe Seattle is going to make the playoffs. And it has to start here against San Francisco, and then obviously at home they're going to also have to beat the 49ers. And I think they'll do it this time. I'm going to call it 20-17, fairly low scoring. Again, very physical. But I think that Russell Wilson will make one more big play than I think Colin Kaepernick will be capable of making in this game against this Seattle defense. And I think that Marshawn will be in full beast mode despite his bad back. And it seems to me that as San Francisco is transitioning from Frank Gore to Carlos Hyde, maybe their run game won't be quite as spectacular as Marshawn's will be. So in the end, low score, close game, hard fought, but I'm going to go 20-17 visiting team in this game, and I'm not saying this one with the courage of my convictions.
Skip, I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks to win this game 22-20. I think it'll be at least 3 field goals, maybe a couple of touchdowns, but I think ultimately Seattle wins this game. Here's where my trepidation lies with the San Francisco 49ers. What has been lost in the shuffle, despite all of their troubles, they're still one of the elite defenses in the game today, not just in total yards allowed, but also in their pass defense as well. They're one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league. The same, however, could be said for Seattle. Where I have trepidation about San Francisco is as it pertains to their offense. Colin Kaepernick, to me, I don't think the offensive line has done a great job of protecting him this year. I see him scrambling entirely too much. I see his pocket presence, his pocket awareness is up there because he's constantly having to run for his life because they're not doing the greatest job in the world of protecting him. Even though Anquan Bolden, the great Anquan Bolden, came up big on several plays along with Michael Crabtree last week against Washington, over the last several weeks, I've seen them both drop a few passes. I haven't seen that happen before. Vernon Davis, as far as I'm concerned, I haven't looked at his numbers or whatever, but just going by the eye test, he's come up short. There's something missing from him, his level of production, and we all know that he doesn't do much against Seattle to begin with. So that's a problem as well. And I think overall offensively, you're going to have to lean on the run, and you're going to have to lean on Carlos Hyde just a little bit more because I don't know how much Frank Gore can give you in a game like this against a smash-mouth defense like Seattle, who, if nothing else, has a lot of speed. Now, with Seattle, we understand that they had some issues with their depth. They lost Bryant. They lost Clemens in free agency to Jacksonville. We look at them this year. Cam Chancellor wasn't himself for the first part of the season. But Skip Bayless, I think those 2 games that he had off prior to the last 2 games that Seattle has played, he's looked like a different dude because he got those couple of weeks off. And as a result, some of the injuries that was ailing him, it seems to be cured, and he's talked about how he feels a lot better, and everybody's talking about over the last 2 weeks. Cam Chancellor has looked like Cam Chancellor. We know about K.J. Wright. We know about Bobby Wagner. We know about Richard Sherman. We know about Earl Thomas and these boys. And so I look at it from the perspective that somehow, some way, the defenses will offset one another, but offensively, Russell Wilson, his poise, his ability to make smart decisions and smart plays and limit the turnovers, combined with them having a top rushing attack in football, I think is going to bode well for them. Not where it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a nail biter. This is San Francisco and Seattle. It's going to be blood spilled in that field. We understand that. But in the end, I believe the 2-3 road team that is the reigning defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will go to 500 on the road this season. I think they pulled this out with a late rally. They escape 22-20.
I am with you, and I'm glad that you did bring up Anquan Boldin. To me, Stephen A., he is my X factor in this game, just as Darren Sproles is in the Cowboys game. But Anquan Boldin just took over the game against the Redskins last week. Again, it was in San Francisco, in Santa Clara. But Anquan started to look like that Anquan who helped carry Joe Flacco to a Super Bowl. And he caught 9 for 137, and it's going to be very interesting. Yep. I don't know if he's going to be matched up a lot on Richard Sherman. He might be today, but he'll be the one thing that I think Seattle will have a hard time dealing with is Anquan Boldin.